Welcome to my Thanksgiving special. The truth is, nothing is special about this video. I just need a good title to pump up them views. The Irishman is directed by Martin Scorsese, and it's based on a true story about Frank Sheeran, played by Robert De Niro, and it's about him recounting his life and his possible involvement in the Buffalino crime family and the disappearance of Jimmy Hoffa. What this film lacks in theatrics, Scorsese goes all in on the characters. While some are more fleshed out than others, it's an A-plus cast, probably the best cast of any movie of 2019. De Niro, Pesci, Pacino, murder it. No pun intended. Compared to Scorsese's previous films, The Irishman was refreshingly quiet. It doesn't really have an exciting protagonist like something like The Wolf of Wall Street, for example. And while the film does have exciting moments, it doesn't rely on that at all to carry this film. Instead, this film just tells a really compelling story. And it's not as slow as the runtime leads on. Like for a 3.5 hour movie, it's paced really well. It does a great job of going from past to present and showing different timelines. So if the runtime is something you're concerned about, don't let that intimidate you. It feels more of like 2.5 hours. It's definitely still long, but it's definitely worth its runtime. The cinematography is, as the Italians say, gorgeous. Thelma Schoonmaker was the editor on this movie. She's like a 3-time Academy Award winner, and she deserves a 4th one here. She's done like Wolf of Wall Street, The Departed, and she did just a phenomenal job on this movie. Because while it's similar in story to something like Goodfellas, which is a comparison you'll probably see a lot with this movie, it feels very original in the way that it's shot. The way they introduced characters in this movie was really funny. I haven't seen anything like that in a movie before. And while the film does look amazing, like there's also certain shots that really stand out. Like it's not slow motion, but it's like stilled and very, very slow, and it kind of focuses on like a character's face or like something that's going on in the shot, and it stands out other than anything else in the movie, and it looks just amazing. Also, compared to Goodfellas, the film doesn't really rely on narration as much. In Goodfellas, it happens very often, and it at some points kind of feels like exposition in a way. In this film, there still is narration, but like I feel like it only happens when it's necessary, and Scorsese kind of wants to show you what's going on rather than having someone just tell you the background. While this probably isn't one of my favorite Scorsese films, something about this movie definitely stands out, and something about it definitely feels like cathartic in a way. I mean, the story itself is about a man at the end of his journey, just recounting his life, his accomplishments, his legacy. And then you have 77-year-old Martin Scorsese behind the camera, and just a complete pioneer in film, and just made some really amazing movies in the past. And it feels like he's almost letting you in with this movie, especially in the third act of this movie. I mean, it almost becomes not about the character, but about Scorsese himself. And he's telling us sort of his fears and his feelings, and I can't speak for that 100%, but that's definitely what I feel like he's trying to tell us with this movie. The Irishman itself is this big saga, and it's not only Scorsese showing us everything that he's done, everything that he's accomplished, but also him just coming to terms with kind of his end in film and what comes after. And it's really cool to see a director of this magnitude make just something so personal like this, especially towards the end of his career. So there definitely is a con with this film, and that is that Martin Scorsese said that Marvel films aren't fucking cinema. I mean, Endgame, only the highest grossing movie of all time. Infinity War, also a classic. Winter Soldier, need I say more? Thor, this one is not cinema. So other than all of that, bullshit, for lack of a better word, the movie gets a 9.5, easy. One of the best films of the year, and I promise I'll review a bad movie soon. I can't help that I watch just straight bangers. So if you haven't liked and subscribed, I assume that your fingers are broken. If that's the case, go see a doctor, and if they're not, go fucking like and subscribe. I don't know how many times I have to since I'm reviewing a movie that all of y'all have actually heard of. Comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're thankful for. Let me know what you like to eat on Thanksgiving. Let me know